The president is delivering on his promise punishing sanctions on Iran. This morning, administration officials announced the retaliatory move in response to Iran's missile attack on U.S. forces in Iraq. The sanctions come as the Democratic-controlled House delivers a sharp rebuke of the president over the use of his military powers. Ksfy News reporter Ksfy Vcr is in Washington with more.
This morning, the Trump administration responding to Iran's retaliatory missile strike on U.S. forces in Iraq.
Today's sanctions are part of our commitment to stop the Iranian regime's global terrorist activities.
The president had promised the punishing sanctions on his address to the nation the day after the attack. Sanctions already touch every part of the Iranian economy, with Trump ramping up enforcement efforts last April to push Iran's oil exports, its economic lifeblood, down to zero.
The goal of our campaign is to deny the regime the resources to conduct its destructive foreign policy. We want Iran to simply behave like a normal nation. We believe the sanctions that we impose today further that strategic objective.
Following Iran's rocket attacks on those military bases in Iraq, the president has refrained from any immediate threats of military action against the Iranian regime. Democrats, however, are concerned about the president's lack of congressional involvement in matters involving Iran.
The president just said, "Oh, I inform you by reading my tweets." No, that's not the relationship that our founders had in mind.
And on Thursday, the sharply divided House took a vote to limit the president's war-making powers.
The current resolution is adopted.
The non-binding resolution requires the president to get congressional approval for any future military action against Iran that lasts longer than 30 days. 3 Republicans supported the measure.
It is this body that needs to make that decision, and the United States Senate.
The White House calling the war powers resolution, quote, ridiculous and completely misguided. In the briefing this morning, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo backed the president's claim that Iranian General Soleimani was plotting to blow up a U.S. embassy, a justification for his killing that some lawmakers claim was not mentioned in their intelligence briefings this week. Ksfy Vcr, ABC News, Washington.
Now, as you just heard, tensions continue to escalate between the U.S. and Iran. With the new economic sanctions against the country, there are problems that seem a world away, but the impact will be felt here at home as well. The Democratic Forum of Sioux Falls held a panel this afternoon to address the impact of current foreign affairs on the state. Among the speakers, Representative Michael Saba, who says the conflict with Iran is having an impact on oil prices and may lead to the deployment of local troops. Retired military intelligence officers Bajan Malvawala spoke about the decision-making process for the commander-in-chief and how the military does its best to present all possible options and outcomes of any given scenario.
What we have to remember about people like Soleimani and al-Muhandis is that, yes, they are bad guys. These are people that have American blood on their hands. But you have to remember what happens after you take out this kind of target. So it's not as simple as, this is a bad guy, we go get them.
If tensions weren't already high enough, today Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said that the U.S. now believes Iran likely shot down a Ukrainian airliner, killing 176 people.